What's going on, team? It looks like Microsoft said, hold on, where's that plug? We might need to pull it. We'll talk about that right here on live trading. Did they pull the plug on the markets today? We're dropping fast. We're down now to 396. Where'd the 400 go? That's my question.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, let's bring on the boys here. Let's get into the trading action. We'll see what's going on, and definitely going to share my screen. Of course, everyone's talking about how Microsoft yesterday did the up and down move. Definitely saw it. Now we're seeing the SPY starting to come down fast here, now to 396.10. Did we top out? That's the only question now. A lot of topping action in that 399, 400 area. Again, another day where we only get pretty much that 400 close above, right? Well, you look to the right, 398, look to the right. We're not closing at 400, team. That's not a good outlook. That could easily bring us right back down. Today, we'll be looking to see if we start getting some of this to break. It's also January 25th, right? January effect is coming to an end. And so that's where I'm going to start really calling the warning signs out there. I'll be looking for shorts and shorts to go around. Microsoft, I think, eventually starts going towards 220, 218 and breaks that. I think we get through 52-week low eventually in the next, let's say, month or so. So I'm going to be looking for some drop in the big names. Apple also, a lot of topping action here around the 142. We'll be looking for some Apple shorts today. We'll see what happens.
All right. Oh, I didn't share. Oh my gosh. I normally
terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Absolutely terrible. But I am ready to go. We're going to talk about the SPY here, right? Because we've been kind of doing this every day. Really nothing to be alarmed about here, right? We're definitely down this morning. If you take a look at this chart, I know it might be a little bit difficult to see because of all of the lines, but basically we've traded right down to the 200-day on the daily. That's it. We were right here at the 200 days. So really the question is going to be, do we actually find support here? Do we continue to take a next leg down? If we do take a next leg down, that's probably going to find support at 392.88. So let's call it 393 or thereabouts. That would be the 50-day moving average. And then beneath that, we have the 100-day at 185. I think that's out of the question, at least for today. So the down move here, really not the end of the world. You know, one of the other things here is that we did kind of break back into this channel, at least as I have it drawn on my chart. We've had two closes above this on low volume, and now we're kind of dipping back in there. So this is one of the reasons why when you're talking about support and resistance, closes above certain levels are going to be really, really important. And in fact, in this case, if you alter my channel just a little bit, if you alter the drawing, we only had one close above. So again, a lot has to do with how you draw your lines. So far, we're down here today on the backs of the Microsoft earnings. Boeing reported earnings today as well. But nothing really to be worried about, at least not yet. This should also help us find relative strength in other long side plays. And let's talk about that here real quick. Let me go back over to the movers tool. I did see some questions about Shop in the chat. I didn't find any news either, folks. So nothing to say there. You can see Shop's having kind of a nice day here. Shop was part of that debacle yesterday, right? So we do have this odd candle here that's going up to $50. Let's ignore that. Let's pretend that that candle's not there because none of those were actual prints. If we flip over to the daily chart here, you can actually see what kind of formation we're looking at on Shop. And I'm not saying that this is why it's up, but this is something to take note. It certainly looks like this has kind of based, really found a bottom, and is trying to curl back up and define its range. So I wouldn't be shocked to actually see this move up. Again, this big red candle here, let's just ignore that. I wouldn't be shocked. 48, high 48s here represent the top, excuse me, represent the top of the bounce that we did in May. when we haven't seen those levels since May of last year. So let's see if we can clear out this area. You're right. You've got the top of this candle here from August 10th and the top of this candle here from December 2nd. That's 45-ish. That's right where we're at right now. So shops up in the pre-market. Let's see if it actually takes that next leg up when the market actually opens here. But just to confirm, I didn't see any news either. I'll check the Twitter streets here in a little bit when we get a chance. I'm going to run really quickly through some of these stocks on the movers tool so I can give Zunaid enough time to talk about some of the setups that he's looking for. First one here is going to be SNOA. We've traded this one before. Pharmaceutical company, fits right into our theme. Went as high as 245. We actually banged against that resistance 3 times. We're unable to take it down. We've kind of retraced here. This is the move that we've seen, right? So if we curl back up here through the VWAP, which also happens to line up with one of these key levels I've identified at 217, perhaps we would be on our way to 245. Next here is going to be FWBA, First Wave Biopharma. Guess what? Fitting into our theme yet again. And actually, since we started talking here, we actually have taken the next leg higher here. Looks like we tried to back test this level as well, about 685. So let's see if we have some more juice here to get going. I want to see this settle. I want to see if this does actually have relative strength when the market opens. So we'll be taking a look at that. INPX is next here. We've traded this one a number of times. This actually retraced the move, the pre-market move here from today, but it's holding to pretty well. It's also holding the 195 level that it set pretty well. So I wouldn't be shocked if this actually curled and started to move back up. Again, we're going to wait for that. We're going to use volume as one of our entry triggers, and we're going to use that as it crosses some of these key levels to the upside. IKT, this is Inhibicase Therapeutics. I totally butchered that, and I'm sorry about it, but sorry, not sorry. This also fits into our theme here. This was as high as 130. Never really heard of this company. Going to kind of put this one on the back burner, given some of the other names that we see here on our list. Just have some more experience trading those. ANTF, this is 180 Life Sciences. This one is as high as 429. To really kind of retrace this move. We actually broke beneath the key levels and the VWAP here. So what I really want to see here is a reclaim. I definitely want to see some of this volume get matched. Unsure if we'll actually see that here today, but that's one of the things we're going to be watching. My list just shifted around on me. Next here is going to be CDTX. This is Cidara Therapeutics. This one is holding $1, but this was a really, really quick drop. I'm really not even interested in this at all until this range is cleared out, and we'll see if that even happens. GOEV, we've traded this one a whole bunch. This was as high as 163, coming back now here to 140. Again, not the greatest setup, but we'll see what happens when the market opens. Maybe that changes. There have been a number of times here we've actually traded stocks that appeared on the scanner that were not on the morning list here. So we're just, we'll watch this and see if this is a good one. SOXS, we are definitely going to watch some of these ETFs. This was a great trade yesterday. And these have been great traders to us in the past. So we'll watch this and the inverse SOXL. Same goes for SQQQ, TQQQ. We already covered SHOP. AT&T had earnings here today. This is a dividend play. Looks like they're trading up here. And then wouldn't necessarily day trade this stock, but decent move here. And then, of course, Bed Bath & Beyond, our meme stock here, having some more fun. So you see yesterday, a whole bunch of fireworks, but nothing really happened. We never really got back to that initial high here in the pre-market and right at the opening print. We'll see if today's any different. Zunaid, you're up.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Let me go ahead and have that up here. We're good. Cool. Taking a look at Microsoft, of course, unfortunately, well, I guess depends on what you had. I didn't play earnings, but it went up, then it came right back down to the folks that were excited that they had calls. Now, what was interesting is that you had DDoG puts that we called out on the option squawk via Benzinga Pro yesterday. Puts were coming in. So, you know, now you obviously have with the AWS, excuse me, not the AWS, the cloud services and different things like that, market pulling it down in terms of DDoG, Datadog coming down as well. You've got about 70 print right over here in the morning. I got a chance to actually short this the other day. Now, what do we do with it? I'd like to see how it kind of finds some support and then break that support maybe later on. I don't want to necessarily short it right at the open because I don't have a good reason to have a risk reward or anything like that. So I'm not quite sure where we would kind of go from there. So keep an eye on DDoG, especially if we get more put activity. But for now, I don't necessarily have a good spot on it. But let's go back to Microsoft itself. Currently, you can see that you have a bit of a gap down, obviously, with the earnings report. Same situation. Let's see where it kind of bases. I don't really have a good area of support unless we're just looking at the 230.81, which if we looked back, you can go ahead and see this right over here. Let me see what we've got. you've got resistance, and then you've got support right there as well. So if we go ahead and break the 230 area, maybe we can go ahead and take this one short, but obviously we're still $3 away. I do not have a good opportunity to go short. The only thing I could think of if I were to kind of quote unquote force a trade is if we were banging our heads against 236.55, and then we can try to go short with a stop loss above. So I'm going to set an alerts here just in case if I want to make a move on it or not, but that's what I've got on Microsoft. Let's take a look at SPY 400 once again. Was interesting. Let me go ahead and remove this. And then, it kind of chopped around there. It gave us a move up, and then it came right back down. It just was not pretty to go ahead and trade yesterday. So now, though, for me, I'm looking at 398s. If we can maybe get up to 398s, it could be an interesting short for us. And then we can go ahead and take the move down. But I don't even know if we're going to end up testing it. But just in case we do, I'm going to go ahead and look to sell. Look, connect the broker. Give it a minute. Refresh. There we go. I'm going to look to go ahead and sell 100, and then we'll have a stop loss of approximately 398.55, and then we'll look to take some gains at approximately 397.10s, give or take. Did I do that right? I hope I did that right. There we go. All right, so that order is out there. We'll see if we get filled on. If we do, great. If we don't, no worries, no harm, no foul. Let's move on to Apple. This one was mamma mia strong yesterday, where the SPY was just coming down. Apple held, and then they moved up, but it just could not get past the 143 level. Now we'll see if it wants to go ahead and break the 140. If it does, I'd be interested in going short Apple if it can break the 140s, but I'm not going to chase it or do anything until then. Tesla still within that range. What do you know? We talked about alerts being set on the top and bottom, and it's literally just hanging out there. Is that not paper trading on TradingView? It's not. So if it was paper trading, it would say paper trading on here. This is my actual account here. You can see my account number and my cash right there as well. So nope, it is not. But I appreciate the question though. And I promise you, if this was a paper trading account, I'd try to show off a little more than $26,000 on here. But that's just me though. What broker do I have connected? So this is TradeStation is what I have. And again, I can answer more questions. I'm happy to if you want to DM me or later in the show. But this is TradeStation connected to TradingView. All right, cool. Tesla. But yeah, I'm excited though for one of these alerts to go off and go ahead and take this one long or short. Usually I like to wait for the 10 or the 15-minute candle to close. But if a 5-minute candle closes above either of these, I think I'm going to go ahead and take a position. Yeah, no worries, Jan. And then let's go ahead and see what else we've got here. Amazon did not give us a chance to go ahead and short at 96, but if it wants to come back up and try there, we definitely would be interested in that one. Taking a look at any other levels that I may like, nothing really there. I do expect a little bit of support to come in at 90 on Microsoft, so that's going to be an area to keep in mind. Let's go ahead and set that puppy up right there. Boop, done with that. Set an alert, and that way we're good to go. But yeah, $100. You can see the rejection in the after hours yesterday came right back down once again because of the cloud services. And you can see the nice $7-8 move to the downside. D-Dog, we've already talked about Roku. $50 is approaching right here, right now. What is it going to do? I do not know. Part of me wants to go ahead and take this one right here because it's $50, but I would rather have it at 51, comes down to 50, and then goes up this, that, the other. But it is $50. Let's see what happens now. However, if Roku wants to go ahead and break 48.84 to the downside, whether that's today, tomorrow, in March, in April, or never, I'd be interested in taking this one to the downside to see if we can knock on 48 doors or not. We got about less than a minute left to go. Netflix. What up?
I was saying I got something real quick to go over before we start.
It's all you. It's all you.
Okay, so here real quick, Sydney was saying FWBI been as high as 350. Don't sell it short. This was actually as high as 5,500. Of course, it never printed these prices. These are because of reverse splits, right? So if we take a look at the calendar, we had a 1-to-7 reverse split earlier this year on the 18th. We've seen some of those reverse splits run. And then we also had one August 26, 1-30 reverse split last year. So FWBI, not ever really been that high. In this case, what I'm trying to do is pay attention to some of the recent things. We are open. Here we go. By the way, congratulations, Jay, on hitting this earlier. Good stuff. Okay.
All right. Yeah, my alerts have been set. Now we're honestly just in wait and see mode, to be honest. And we can start with SPY, see how that wants to behave.
Jay says not to UVXY highs. You know what? It's actually been a while since I've checked that. Of course, those are reverse split over and over and over again. So let's this is actually I'm just kind of curious myself at this point now. Where we're at here on UVXY. Let's see if I can go back as far as I can. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to do a weekly, Jay. What was this? 4 million? Is that? Oh, no. 479 million. Boy, what a short that was. You shorted this at 479 million. It's $5 today. Pretty awesome. Look at this chart.
It's crazy.
Oh, good times. Reverse splits are fun. Okay. Anyway, back to reality.
Back to reality. Oh, those gravity. All right, you've got Apple Crossing. Someone was
going to quote Eminem. I felt the Eminem quote coming as soon as I said that.
You've got the 140 crack on Apple. Let's see if it can actually now stay below. I've also got a position to buy CrowdStrike at approximately $100. Maybe it's like $100.05 or something like that. So yeah, I'm just kind of taking a look at Apple, see how this 3-minute slept in the 5-minute candle closes. Ideally, I would be okay with this one flushing all the way to 139s and then back testing the 140s to see if it can break it. And then I'll take a short there. No problemo. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with GNS. We nailed this one yesterday. Oop, looks like I got filled on something. And there's CrowdStrike. Is this going to be a profitable trade or not? I do not know, but now I'm in for 200 shares. All right. My stop loss is going to be approximately 99.40s. So I'm risking about $80. Or no, I'm risking about $129. That's always fun. And my take profit is going to be 169. And will I lose 129 real quick? Come on. That's how you gonna embarrass me? That's how you gonna embarrass me? Early morning? Ooh. Oh, you gonna tease me a little bit. You gonna tease me a little bit. Come on. But anyway, let's see how this trade works out. I'm in. Looks like it's gonna be a funky one. Maybe I should
waiting for things to shake out here. We're still kind of in a free fall mode. I'm not in any rush to grab anything here. I wasn't long anything overnight. A couple of people from the happy hour felt pretty good about shorting the semis last night. So I think that they took an SOXS trade last night. I didn't take that. So I'm kind of waiting for things to settle out here before I do anything. Remember, we traded this yesterday from 24, tried to hit 25, couldn't quite get it. Now we're putting 26s here. So nice little move here.
Here's another little tease from CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, CrowdStrike? Do I hear 69 cents? We're at 44. Oh, we're at 64. Bang. Let's go. Sold at $100.64.
Nice job on that bounce, bro.
In the mornings, baby. Let's go. So locked in those gains, obviously, and we're up $1.29 in the morning. Now let's focus in on Apple. As you can see, Apple is now trying to bounce back. We have not closed a 5-minute candle just yet.
COSM here. COSM, this is, of course, made a huge run in the afternoon the other day. COSM now trying to break above its pre-market high here today. It's really trying to take out this range yesterday. We went as high as 688, currently at 656. So maybe a curl and a move through this level here on COSM. This was another former reverse split runner. That's also been a theme. So first things first, we actually have to clear out this formation right here. 667 going to be your first spot there. 688 probably in play if this keeps up. One of the things I'd actually really like to see here is an increase in volume. This is not very notable, especially when you compare it to yesterday. The size of this stick is really why we got that move. I'd like to see that again here. Take us for the next leg higher on a trade here. We shall see. SNOA, which we talked about. Let's take a look at that. That was on the list here. Okay, so it looks like it did hold that too. We're trying to bounce here. The level that we're actually looking to take out here is going to be the top of this channel. So I've got that at 246. Realistically, 240 would work on that. So we're trying to bounce here and push above 2, trying to build above 2. Volume actually looks good on this one, at least so far.
I'm looking to go short Apple at 139.97. I just did that. My stop loss is going to be 140.55. 140.55 is my stop loss. And I'm going to look to take profits a little bit earlier at 139.55 if I go ahead and get this. So it's not exactly a best trade for me in terms of one-to-one. So because I want my risk to be proper, I'm going to go ahead and move my stop loss down to 140.40s. But here we go. Let's rock and roll. And the reason that I have it at 139.55 is simply because that's where we have low a day. So if we at least retest it anywhere near the 40s or 60s, excuse me, I'd be okay locking in the gains here. What's up, pal? But let's see if Apple continues to the downside.
Oh, I'm trying to get shorted at the VWAP now. Let's see if we come back towards 140.36.
Here we go. The VWAP is the yellow sign if you're just joining us. I haven't used a VWAP in a minute, but there it is.
Yeah, a lot of the times what I look for is that first wipeout, right? And then push right back, and then gives me levels to go off of the pre-market resistance or the pre-market support here. 140.72 could be the risk here. But yeah, looking for downside continuation also in Microsoft. You can see that right now, right out the gates. Microsoft taking a hit there. So you guys can see that. Tesla's another one that I'm going to look at today. I think that's an important one to watch. Amazon pushing up. Yeah, they report tonight, of course. We'll also take a look at some of these names that have been making like big moves up to see if they start pulling back, like a firm and stuff like that. We need to really pay attention today if it's going to be an overall sell-off, or is it going to just be like some names selling off and some value names getting picked up? Like that's why I'm watching right now to see if the financial services or healthcare is going to get into the green. Those are the slow ones that are tricking towards the green. Energy took a big hit out the gates. XOM down big. So drip, you could see probably making a nice little lift there. We'll see what happens. Apple back yet? Not yet.
SNOA trying to move away from its VWAP here, grinding a little bit, a little slow, but pretty good volume. And then also CDTX. So you were mentioning this, Jay Wild mentioning this one. CDTX really trying to clear out this area here. So 117 to 120. We are above the VWAP now, so that's good. And we're actually getting some pretty good volume candles here. Let's compare it to yesterday. Yeah, definitely have some good volume here. Looking like 128, definitely possible. In fact, I'm going to mark that off. Uh-oh, feel a sneeze coming.
Sneeze it.
Come on, Apple. Just flush on down.
Sneeze it.
Thank you. Woo.
All right. Look around. I know Shop was making a move off of a Twitter mention. That's still pushing their team.
So
Shop
what was that? The chat was talking about news. I didn't see any news, but I hadn't hit the Twitter streets yet. What was going on with Shop?
It's in the streets out there that supposedly they're raising their rates for kind of, I guess, companies that are jumping on to Shop now. But Shop getting the lift on that. We'll look to see if it continues holding. I think today is very important to close above 44. If it can close above 44, the bulls will have it a little bit, and you can look for a nice little run. We'll see what happens there. Apple. All right, now you're starting to come back there for me.
Yeah, Apple coming right back up. My stop loss is 140.40. So we're about 22 cents away from getting stopped out on this trade. I am short Apple at 140.01, I think it is.
Still hasn't hit VWAP for me, so I'm still waiting to get in.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, wait, your VWAP is way up there.
Yeah, my VWAP's 140.32. What's your VWAP at?
At like 140.
Okay. Hey, it's
all about
it's all about where the data is coming in, right? The tick data and the volume data. That's what's going to matter there. The difference. So in my eyes, it still hasn't hit VWAP. So I'm waiting and waiting. And I got to go off of mine because that's the level that I use, right?
Yeah, of course. You gotta be consistent with it.
And that's the hard part. That's the hard part, right? I mean, it's all about how you guys want to go after it. I might miss it because I don't get in here, but I'm not going to chase it down here. One thing I definitely don't like to short on into is the middle of the chart. That's how you become a pig. Pigs get slaughtered, my friends. All right, financial services leaking into the green. We'll look to see if healthcare gets into the green. One on my radar is ELV, making a nice little push up here out the gates. Nice earnings on this one. If this one's going green, look for also the leader, UNH, right? They have a nice day. That's what I'll be looking for. Also CVS, maybe reversing today. We'll see what happens on that. Humana is another way to look at this. And you can see Humana, UNH doing well. ELV is another one to look at. Just calling out stocks that had earnings, definitely on my radar.
Apple, we were in the money as it went 30 cents, and I've stopped out on that.
Was able to get a little bit right now at 31s. So first piece in there, trying to work the piece up. I'm willing to add on this name. I'm going to the 1 just to kind of look at it a little bit more, but I like the 3-minute here. So now let's go back and try through that high, and then I can add as it rejects through that high. So we don't want it to go through the 140.43. If it goes through there right now, we can just let it work to 140.72 with the first piece. So one of the things that I talked about this morning on pre-market prep was sizing in. We had a deeper conversation about, is that the best method, right? So I wouldn't add right here because you're getting through that high, right? I want to see it start making its way back down. Once it starts making its way back down, then I can go off of 140.50. But let's let the candle close here, especially on a 1-minute basis. I let the push come back because if I get stopped out on just 1/5 of my position, it's going to be a lot less, right, than a full position there right now.
SNOA playing games here, trying to push to new highs, then yanking back beneath the VWAP, then pushing back above the VWAP. So a lot of chop here in SNOA, making it more difficult to trade. CDTX, we're still kind of waiting on a break above here. We'll see. It looks like it's trying some pretty decent volume, but unable to go just yet. Take a look at COSM. COSM yanked, currently building beneath the VWAP.
I'm going to go and take a position and shop here as it tries to break 96s. If it comes down a little bit lower, I'll look to add some more. Where do I want to take the gains here? I'm going to look to take gains on shop at our prox. Actually, no, let me move this one up a little bit. There we go. All right, that's my setup here. As mentioned, I got in on shop at 45.98, looking to take profits at 47.43. Stop loss is going to be 44.62. And I would be open to buying some more at 45.29.
Etienne saying, look at the move on Boeing. Boeing, big move here. So they reported earnings was worse than expected. Q4 core EPS and sales results. Conference call starts in what? It's 9:40, about 45 minutes from now. Boeing, nice little move here, right? Off 205 level, almost back to balance, right? Almost red-green. Possible red-green actually might make this go. Be interested to hear what they're going to say in the conference call, too.
All right, now we're right back below VWAP on Apple, willing to add at 140.25s. I'm already in the green here. I'm actually trying to add to the winner now and looking for pop backs, looking for resistance to start coming into play on the VWAP. So I can start setting in orders here, like at 40.25. I'm going to put an order out there. I can set an order back even at like maybe 40.35s, 40.45s, and then risk right off of that 140.50. or that last high of 140.55.
On GNS, I'm going to see if I can go ahead and get a piece at 457s and then 453s.
GNS spot might be 473 here.
Just got an ad there on the VWAP. Building up my position, team.
SNOA beneath 2. GNS seems to be the focus again here.
Just give me a fill before we go. Thank you. I think I got a few positions on right now. Shop that was in profit is now not. That's always great. What you gonna do, Apple?
GNS trying here. Intraday high here, 468, trying to push above it. A little bit of size at 467, which got taken. A little bit more size at 469 here. They hit it, but they couldn't take it. So coming back off that level. I think GNS goes higher here, though, folks. There's 469 again.
You want to film me? Are you serious?
Trying to add to Apple again, especially through that 140. If we start getting the takedown through 140s, that's where I could expect a breakdown. We'll see if we get it. What's going out there, team? Looks like trying to see what's starting to get into the green, right? If you could see here, now you got financial services, basic materials in the green, communication services. So those are in the green. Healthcare is making its way. It's just slightly in the red from the open. And then we'll look to see if others start playing catch up. I know technology is actually leading the downside action now with energy. So those are the weak areas. Just got another ad there on Apple, still holding right now towards that 140.55. If that does get above that, be careful there because that's when you can start pushing back.
GNS still struggling with that 468, 469 area.
All right, now the only other entry I'll get into this one is for the 140, the actual move into the move where we're starting to get deeper into the green. How's the SPY overall here? SPY just hanging out at VWAP. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, it's made higher highs so far.
Still sitting right at its 200-day. About 70 cents above. ENSC halted. Whoa, big move here on ENSC. So this is the one of the trading setups that we're trying to get. Again, this stock not going to be on mine because it's under $1. But you got this big move here through 84 cents combined with the expansion of volume. This is exactly what we're looking for. Up 20 cents now into an upside halt. Crow saying, Ryan, really been rewarded for waiting till later in the day. Me and Easy Mike got COSM and Grom yesterday. That makes me super happy, right? We identified that pattern from what was happening here, even when we're not on air, right? We saw some of these moves set up in the morning. Those gave us the key levels to look at. Then we saw the bigger move materialize in the afternoon. Those that are prepared, able to take advantage of that. Absolutely love hearing this. This is what we're going to do. We're going to keep trying to find patterns no matter what the market is presenting and try to put people in high percentage setups or try to make that success percent as high as possible. Great job by both of you. And great job by this entire group, really. You guys are constantly finding new names. Some of the names that you're finding, like ENSC, this wasn't on my radar. Great shout here by the group.
Sticking around in Apple right now, could get stopped out in the next probably 1 minute candle here as you're starting to get the wick above. We'll look to see what happens. Really, the markets are just kind of hanging on right now. We're not getting any directional pull. So we're going to look to see what happens here. 945 right in the middle. Doesn't happen often, right? We're normally trending by then. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens in the next kind of like 5 or 15-minute candle on the SPY. Do we just come back and take out the lows? Low of 395.23, downside action continuation. Upside, let's put it at like 396.65. We'll see what happens. It's a battle right now. How's Microsoft doing? It's down towards the low of the day, just cracked towards the low of the day, 231.75. So that was a good VWAP fade. I don't know if you guys caught that one. Microsoft coming down, right? It has kind of that down move all the way towards around 232. Bounces, VWAP's around 233.82. Getting Apple to spike on me. Just give me 1 second, team. I'm about to maybe cut that if it holds right here in 72s.
SNOA bouncing here, right? So really kind of bounced off that 195 level. We marked 196, but 195 here went right back up to the VWAP and has been rejected. So SNOA, it's trying, but it really hasn't shown the strength that we need. Decent volume, but really need to see a little bit more strength here. SNOA, not really a buy, maybe on a break above that VWAP, but again, I'd be very, very careful. Be quick on that. Because that's likely to pull back. That's likely to knife as soon as it goes above that. FWBI was the other one that we were taking a look at here. Crow, you were saying this actually looks like a trap.
It's a trap.
Might be the case here. We're actually below VWAP, building below VWAP. We don't have volume to accompany this. And to me, if we end up losing this 622, I think we probably trade a little bit lower, maybe into the 5 handle.
Apple really trappy candle on that last 1 minute candle. It went and did a huge wick, but closed in the right area. So I'm still in there. We'll see what happens. Will we get a close back above towards that recent 1 minute high? That will definitely stop me out. SPY is just hanging out here at the bottom. We're not really getting directional pull, at least from right now. Microsoft going lower, but we'll see what happens if we go and we take a down move or not.
Amazon seems to be just trading with Microsoft. Charts look very, very similar.
You've also got, I'm short CrowdStrike, but you've also got Tesla now breaking the 140s.
Yep.
So I'm going to wait for the 5 minute candle to close, and then I'll come back and go ahead and short it up here. But for now, though, I am short CrowdStrike. Unfortunately, though, I am also long Shopify. So we'll see which way this goes.
Yeah, the battle's on right now between the bears. Are they going to take it to the downside in the SPY and take down those lows, or are we going to come right back above the VWAP? If we come back above the VWAP in any, like, let's say 15 minutes from now or something like that, I'd expect a little upside action. So we'll see what happens if we flip back towards the bullish side or not.
Baby, baby, baby. Tesla to the downside. $1 move now from that break of 140.
Tesla.
Miss Whitehorse. Sorry.
Don't forget, team. I just wanted to kind of mention really quickly, we will be having the Tesla earnings call right here on Benzinga. You guys can catch it. Tesla's Q4 earnings call right here. Don't go anywhere, team. I see you guys out there. 535 of you guys. Hope to see you guys tonight. 5:30, that call will start. And I will be in the background. You guys can talk with me in the chat. What am I thinking about Tesla's earnings? We'll deep dive. We'll talk all the talk that we can about Elon. I know you guys will be there.
Miss Whitehorse, good luck. I hope that you feel better. I know that you're not feeling great right now. And I see this conversation about stepping on a Lego. Easy Mike, man, I'm sorry. I've stepped on more Legos than I care to admit. Sometimes if I'm having a really bad day and there's someone out there really being a jerk, I'll jokingly say, boy, I hope you step on a Lego. So it is what it is. I've been there, done that. Hope you folks both feel better soon.
SPY going to the lows. We'll look to see if it takes out the low of the day, 395.23. We're at 395.29. 27s. We hit it right now. Let's see what happens.
I'm going to go ahead and close out shop.
SNOA totally rejected off that VWAP here. Just does not have the strength yet.
All right, now looking for Apple to crack 140s, and then I'll start getting another ad here as I start looking to hold for right above VWAP. There's the SPY down to 395, 394.83s. Got my last ad there in Apple. Entries average is around 140.24. Let's see if this starts really to crack. VWAP is at 140.14.
More lows.
That's all I heard.
Shake out, folks. Waiting for it to shake out. That's just Raj. You got it. ES dumping. Yep.
The birds out there.
Yep. Oh, you hear my birds in the background?
Nah, you're talking about my cha-ching.
Okay. Okay.
All right. On the shop, went ahead and got stopped out on that one. And then on CrowdStrike, you can see we're about to take our gains. If we can get another 10 cents, please. Come on. Let me get a plummet. Don't be a jerk. Let me get a plummet. Bruh.
Let me get a plummet.
All right.
A plummet.
Oh my gosh. Gush. Jeez. Heaven's sakes, Ryan. Come on. Oh my gosh. ENSC opened up, popped big time into another upside halt. So for all of you that were trading ENSC, definitely book some of these gains here now. At least pull some of it off. Make sure this doesn't go red on you. Remember what we've seen with some of these halts, right? We had a couple of halts to the upside, and then all of a sudden we have halts to the downside, erasing a lot of those gains. Don't be caught in that. Make sure you take them off the table, or at least partial. Oh my gosh. Mingo, I don't know, man. I don't know what happens sometimes. You know, my brain is telling me what to say, but my mouth's like, nope, we're gonna go rogue. We're gonna go rogue. We ain't gonna do that. I'm sorry, Fal. I'll try to get better.
All right, we'll see what happens if we get that continuation to the downside and a sell-off type of day. Looks like we're getting that down action, but I didn't see the volume. Let me take a look into that downside action there on the SPY. Oh, there was some pretty good volume there. Yeah, it's 600K. It definitely increased.
Okay, so SNOA. Interesting. We're starting to see the makings of what we need here. We did have this little volume spike on the candle that took us through the VWAP. I just talked about that. So good to see that. When as high as 219, we're pulling back to the VWAP here. Really needs to hold here. I got VWAP at 212 and change. So maybe 212, 213, depending on how your broker displays it. We're pretty much right there. Really would like to see this push off and really like to see some more volume pour into this name. I think if we do, you probably get a break of this 224, and 246 might be in play here.
CrowdStrike,
you were saying big wall at 220. Okay, interesting. That's what we got to clear first then. Sorry,
all
Mitch.
Right. Yep, that was me. You're good. CrowdStrike, cha-ching on that one. Went ahead and went short. We made money on it. Bounced off of the, rejected the 100. Now it's at 99. We made money on that short. Short once again on Apple, 300 shares at 139.96. Stop loss of $1.40, 30 cents. And there's another alert going on Roku. But for now, all locked in on 139.55. Ow, my thumb. To go ahead and take gains on my short on Apple. This is going to be a tricky one, but we're in it.
Here's your 220 on SNOA, wall down, 221 down. Interesting. Let's see if we got the juice. They refilled 219, by the way, with big seller there. And SNOA, it pops, but it just cannot get the follow through. Makes it very, very difficult. Now you're getting knifed back down to 2 here. Oh, just absolutely nasty on SNOA. Absolutely nasty. If I was playing that right here, I would have taken an L right there. No question. No question.
All right, we'll SPY down to 394.40s. We'll see what happens there. We could continue coming down there. We're definitely seeing a leak out there from some of the strong names. Wayfair looks like a great opportunity for a short, but I'm not going to get short on that name. Just to look, it does look good though to fill the gap on the downside. 53 is above it, acting as resistance right now. We'll see what happens there. Look for some strong names that were really strong in the January effect to start showing some weakness. That's what I would be looking at now. Even Netflix coming back, right? Had strong earnings, starting to come down.
Rashad, assuming you're not a bot, what is the indication that the bear market is over? Give us some bullet points.
And by bot, he means like an actual bot, not like a
robot.
Slang bot. Yeah, just
a robot.
We're not insulting you. Before we get any emails. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Come on down. Apple, baby. 139.71.
I know. Let's go.
A 139.55.
Now you're getting me a little worried. I took a little cash.
Come on.
I took some off on Apple. I took some off, 50%. Just took a little bit into the move, right? Got some out there in the 77s. So.
I ain't mad at it.
Ain't mad at it, right? You got to take some profit. In this market, it's to take the money and run. Now I can let it, like if he wants to wipe out, I give it the chance now. And I can hold VWAP break even on the rest. Bomb. Let the trade work, Ryan. That's what we say sometimes.
That's what we say.
Let the trade work.
Speaking of the trade working, whoever nailed ENSC today, pat yourself on the back. Your work day is pretty much over already. Just an absolute monster. This is the third halt now. Third halt to the upside.
Oh, here
Mitch,
comes. Ooh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good, Mitch. What about our realization that the multiple halts to the upside eventually going to reverse? Please. This is a nice move here. 84 to 46. You got 60 cents. Almost 100% move on that break.
We'll see, right? What do we usually see?
Oh, look at that volume. Look at this chart.
We're not saying this happens 100% of the time, but we're saying there's a high probability of the time that we've seen in our experience trading these smaller names. And I've been around them for a long time. I know Ryan's been around them for a long time. Usually after that third halt, we even get maybe like an opening that's a little bit higher, but then we get sometimes that down halt. Down halts are scary as heck to be in. There's one thing being stuck in a halt when it's going up and your position's long. Whole other thing is being your position long and now seeing a downside halt. Remember that stocks do halt on the downside just as fast as they halt to the upside, right? Always want to keep you guys to be focusing on what you guys have as your process for reward and risk.
Well, here's Apple coming once again to test VWAP. Damn, dude, right at that 10-minute mark, it went ahead and bounced.
I'm glad my VWAP's a little higher.
Right at that 10-minute mark.
Also, I'm glad I took a little profits because this market is that take your money and run type of market. Actually gonna
Let it set.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. It's not the easiest market at all. Take your money and run.
Amazon pounding lows right now. I don't think things have settled yet.
All right, I think Apple's going to go for that takedown, at least from my eyes. What I'll do now is I can just set a stop at break even and then just let this work. Just let this work for me. Now I'm focusing on other stocks, going to try to find some stocks to take down here. Let's see what else we got moving down. Google moving down, Amazon moving down, Nvidia cracking there, StockS. Let's see what happens there. We just got to push through 26. Looks like 25.90s holding as support right now. I'm going to look for a little bit of a pullback, a little deeper towards 87. If we can pull towards that, and I'll look to see if I can get into StockS. Energy coming down also, so we can look for maybe some shorts on some oil names right now. XOM coming down fast there, so be careful there. And some oil names, those are definitely taking a hit. And the Duke Dragon, man, that swing, I know I'm going to be kicking myself. I got stopped out by, no lie, probably even on the wick. Maybe a point, a little under a point, 90 cents. Would be up about $4 on Duke. We're going to see what happens with these names if they start really kind of cracking. XLU looks really weak right now. So these utilities really cracking down. We'll see what happens there.
Come on, Apple. Come on, Apple. Just test the lows, bro. Just test the lows, bro.
All right, let's go for some other names that have been doing well. Where are those layoffs that supposedly sound so good, right? Well, I don't know how long they're going to be sounding good for.
FWBI in an interesting spot here, Crow. I know you were looking at this now.
Meta. There you go.
Move through that VWAP. Move through that VWAP. Would love to see this volume expand here, right? We're curling back towards the VWAP, which is great. That's one step, but let's see this volume tick up here. And I think I'm with you there on an entry. Let's see it.
Meta on a 1 hour kind of pullback look, trying to come back here. The only thing is the chart looks good on an hourly to the upside. So I'm not going to run in front of this as much as I want to get short on Meta, like my own mentality. Not going to let that happen to me just because the chart looks actually bullish right now. We'll see if it flips, right? If it flips back down, but the hourly pullback does look good right now on Meta. I'm going to leave that one alone.
Walter saying getting real snowy here today after fake spring. Oh man, that's relatable AF. That's exactly what it's like here in Chicago. Feels like we got a fake out, but we got snow today. It's still coming down.
Yeah, you
Super
get
happy.
winter, you get light winter, and then you get dark winter right after that. That's how it happens in Colorado. I know that much. All right.
ENSC unhalted. Good shout there. Looks like actually we halted again. The downside already.
Gold having a good day there, team.
Yes.
You want to look at gold.
Mitch, guess what?
What's up?
Third halt.
Fourth halt. What direction do you think it was halted in?
I don't even gotta look.
The downside.
I ain't gotta look.
You had 3 upside halts, and now it's the downside halt. Just.
And what did it
like
do
we were
though?
talking about.
Like a little fake out to the upside too. That 153, and that's the part that's hard. You make a new high, and then just cut right back down. And the hard part there is the volume that trades. You need to be quick. When I've learned on
Very
those
quick.
trades, if I need to put it bid usually like -3. Like,
So are you
in
doing a limit
hotkey.
order in that case, Mitch?
Oh, I'm putting hotkey limit on the bid -3. I usually, like when I used to trade these, I don't do these anymore.
Yeah.
If I trade these, I used to trade these with hotkeys, and I would have hit bid -3.
Yeah, see, so that's where we differ. I'm market. If this is where I'm at and I'm long this position, I'm dumping at market.
You're insane on my end, but that's just how life is, right?
I want out. I want out. I don't need this thing to sink.
You've never
and
been
have my
screwed
limit
by
order
one of those
through it.
market orders?
What's that?
You never been screwed by one of those market orders?
I mean, you'll get a little bit of price slippage, but screwed? I mean, no, hopefully not. If I'm buying an 84 break and we're dumping at 146, I better not get screwed.
I hope not.
It's you know what the getting screwed, Mitch. That's more applicable on the buy side, right? You're trying to buy through a break, and if you do buy at market, it takes you several cents above the break. Now you're behind the 8 ball. But for getting out of the position, bro, hit those bids. I want out. I want out.
I find it so hard to do market orders.
Apple right back up.
It stopped me out. There you go. That's how it is, team. That's how this market is.
Just
if I would have just took the money and run, right? I'm not even listening to myself there. Take the money and run, market, because it quickly just comes right back up. That's just how this market is. SPY comes right back. Well, I'm glad I set my stop, right? Because that stopped me from losing on the trade, and I got a winner. So even though you guys saw me size in there, I didn't get as much as I wanted. We took some profit down here on the cut downs, right? We took it right there to 77. We were looking for the low of the day break, and then I would have took some more. Then would have tried to keep a little tiny bit of runner. But getting out of the trade and then setting a stop definitely saved me there. Didn't even watch when it got hit. I was just got hit.
SRT8 sounds like something's wrong on your end. I look, Ameritrade's not without its problems, but normally I don't see this. I don't see a delayed price different from TradingView. The latency that I get from TD Ameritrade is superior to TradingView's. So it sounds like something is wrong. Some setting is wrong.
Depending on what version of TradingView you have, TradingView might be the one that's delayed. I don't know.
No, I think I can help you out here. I forgot where this is. If you're new, this might not be on by default. So let me find it here real fast. System, real-time quote speed. Okay. So SRT8, you want to click on the setup button in the upper right corner of your platform. Then click on general, then system, and make sure that your quote speed is real-time, no delay.
One stock that we talked about here that looks really nice in gold is CDE. My man Quantum talked about this one. I'm going to mention it really quickly. Look at this daily chart. We've talked about through the 4 market. We've gone through 4 multiple times. Now pulling back and holding that 4. Looks like it wants to come back for 427s. Smaller name, not going to be moving much, but I feel like this is a little bit safer, a little bit of a swing, maybe even in gold. We'll look to see if this keeps going. Good mention by Quantum, stock that I never knew. And that's what it's all about, team. Let's keep helping each other. Seeing anything, Zunaid?
Nope, you've got shop that is kind of right at VWAP. See if it wants to break above it or not. But besides that, Apple, man, just unfortunate. I mean,
Yeah, that's just and it could just crack right back down, right? SPY rejecting that move back up there could just easily be a VWAP rejection coming right back, right? So be careful out there, team. We'll see what happens. But this market, take the money and run market. Google would have definitely been a nicer short. TSM, those have continued. How's NVIDIA? Yeah, continued down, right? Apple was probably the one that screwed us, you know, and that's how it is sometimes. There's a lot of bulls in Apple. That's one thing that I will say.
Yeah.
So we got to keep that in mind, right? Sometimes we're fighting majority of the investors, so it's a little bit tough. Like Google's just went straight down there.
ENSC coming back towards its VWAP here. We'll see if it ends up holding and halting here. ENSC coming back in after this recent halt. Man, what's the deal here with this lag? Ugh. Anyway, coming back in towards the VWAP here. We'll see if it ends up holding. This thing's been a halt fest so far. We'll see where it goes. Actually halted again. Nope. Sorry.
Hey, Eric, like always, you make your investment decisions. If they benefit you, hurt you, you know, regardless, I want you to make your own. And sometimes it's going to do you well. Looks like it did you well this time, thinking about how I was looking at Amazon. And right there, like, you know, what I would say, that's your trade, Eric. Celebrate it as your trade. Just because I'm giving you perspective, you make the trading decisions, give yourself a pat on the back, my friend.
That also bleeds into why we talk so much about process, right? Your process needs to be tailored to you, and it's likely going to be a little bit different than the trader next to you.
Important to catch too.
Ooh, SNOA making a move here. So now again through the VWAP here. Okay, big pop here in SNOA. I actually cleared out this formation now. 246 looks like the next stop here on SNOA. So it looks like maybe we're getting ENSC buyers rotating into SNOA.
Hourly symmetrical triangle on that SNOA. I like that outlook. Higher lows, higher lows. So you're looking good there, right?
Breaking out of that flag.
Now you can start, I would start using this like kind of 204 level for pullbacks, 204 levels for pullbacks, and then look to see if it comes right back up through that high. You just did that nice little VWAP rejection where you go to the high, you come back, you're trying to hold VWAPs on pullbacks. So a lot of people will be watching that VWAP. That's 210 for me. We'll look to see if we get that next lift up here.
Yeah, and the thing here, so this is what we've seen, right? It's actually SNOA has shown us so far that you're better off buying the pulls than you are buying the breaks, because every time that it breaks through one of these levels, it immediately gets knifed. So instead then, buy some of those knives when they come into support areas. Right now, certainly looks like it's using the VWAP as some of that support. Let's see if we can actually push higher here and take this out. I like seeing these volume pops here. As long as we keep getting that, this thing can still be in play here today. This one might be a candidate for an afternoon run here. I wouldn't be surprised if we just kind of trade sideways and then all of a sudden they just let this sucker go in the afternoon through 246. Maybe you have one of those big runs here.
All right, I'm starting to see a trade that's developing, and it looks like rotation to me, so I want to make a note. I always try to notice when I can see rotation. I'm seeing healthcare names that were really hit hard. Drug manufacturers. Look how this is taking off. This is an important catch. What does this show me? Trades going back to value. That's a big thing that I'm looking for. I think I'm way early to this right now, but I always like to be early on rotation and start looking to see if it starts to follow. So I'm going to be looking for some value names to come back into play. We'll see what happens today. Healthcare just sneaking into the green right now. Wanted to put it on our radar. ELV is one that had good earnings. I'm looking to see if maybe I get that VWAP bounce towards 490s, and then I can ride it back towards 500. We'll see what happens there. The SPY would need to kind of stay kind of like sideways. It could even still leak in healthcare, be in the green. So I'm just trying to find what's in the green there. And if you look, communication services, basic materials, and healthcare just sneaking into the green now.
Yeah, AT&T helping that too. Stanky's actually on CNBC right now.
AZN, look at AZN. That's strength, right?
Yeah.
And we're not, these are not 1 minute candles, these are 5 minute candles, right? And so that shows me rotation into these names. Lilly, Johnson & Johnson just reported, SNY. They're all making big moves up. And so that shows me more and more. I want to try to catch these on pullbacks. We'll see what happens if I'm able to get one of these.
Yeah, one simple trade here, Ryan. Don't be surprised on SNOA as this stock has a low float of 3.7 million. This could go 4 or more, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm with you there. I actually wouldn't be surprised. One of the things that we were seeing here is that it was fairly weak out of the gate, right? Really couldn't get a push above any of these key levels and keep going. It looks like maybe that's changed now, and some of these, whatever's holding it back might not be there this afternoon, or might be weaker this afternoon. This, to me, this minute formation here, this actually looks pretty good. Wouldn't be shocked if we took out 230 here. So not surprised. We took this off our radar early on, but as soon as it started to show strength again, we brought it back, right? We're always looking to find where the strength is here. So I'm with you on that.
Apple back below 140.
Where
Go short. What's up? Oh, where socks?
I like the. Sorry, Zunaid, I didn't mean to distract.
No, you're fine.
Totally distracted.
Oh! Now Apple wants to do it, right?
Sydney.
I mean, I'm annoyed, but I'm gonna go short just 100 shares here, and I'm gonna look to add about 100, 200 shares at 139.95.
SPY going for the lows there. It rejected the VWAP there. That's an important thing to notice, right? So there you guys getting VWAP rejections. I know Microsoft is working its way right back to VWAP. We'll see what happens there. That one actually continues on the downside. The only reason I don't think about shorting Microsoft right now is just because there's probably a lot of people short Microsoft right now. So it's just tough to kind of get short here. We'll see what happens. Does it push through the 233s, important level for Microsoft? All right, let's look around. Let's see what trades we can do, team. Had a nice trade on Apple earlier, but let's start working. No BZ live today. All right. No BZ live. No AB. No AB.
He okay?
Yeah, he's just taking the day off. At least from Benzinga Live. Doing some other things.
IKT here. This is actually a decent intraday chart here. These volume pops definitely intriguing. I think maybe a move above this, we can go towards 130. Not a whole lot of movement here, or not a whole lot of range here, but decent setup.
Here's Apple once again testing the 140s. This will be the death of me.
Zunaid, we don't want that to happen, man. I think I speak for everyone here.
If you don't see me tomorrow,
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna be sad. The Indian Prince is gone. Look,
Indian Prince.
The buck.
All right,
oh
team.
my goodness.
Looking at the Shopify move here, that one doesn't look too bad there. Now to try to take it there from 45. I'm going to look for a pullback here to 25s, but it's already taken off there. I hesitated for a second there. I'm not going to lie. And I like to tell you guys when I make slight execution mistakes, it would have been 45.25 entry there. And now it's already at 35. So I start feeling like the trade's getting away from me. And I hate jumping into it here. But you guys can see it in my middle chart right now. You could clearly see what? Well, I see bottoming action right around this 45, right? We're coming back for these highs. It was right at the VWAP, slightly above at 45.25, and that would have gave me already about 25-cent kind of entry there. We'll look to see if shop can get back towards the high. I say first resistance 45.75, then you get through the mental of 46. We'll look to see if it gets that back up there. Microsoft getting through that 233 also shows us a little bit. I thought I didn't want to get short there because I thought there would be some shorts already stuck in Microsoft, looking for it to continue down. Now getting the little push as you're getting a little bit of a pushback, right? I don't expect Microsoft to make up all these losses, but it could pull back a little bit, even close green on the day. At least on the intraday from the open, right? 234.34. Look to see if shop keeps going.
ENSC below its VWAP, but maybe trying to reclaim it here. Not as interested in that one as I am in SNOA.
Yeah, SNOA is not bad. We're both kind of, that style play, right? Ooh. Those are hard stocks, man. A lot of money moving in those stocks. Merky Merc making a nice lift. Yeah, those drug manufacturers. The LV went towards that 490. I don't take trades like this often, but I might take a trade like that. Yeah, I like that 490.
Just got a text from one of my trader buddies, said, not much to do in this tape. Really did kind of dry off there. Dry out, dry off, dry out, whatever. Whatever.
I mean, we got to get through these retail traders so that they can really, so the institutionals can really sell off, right?
Well, one thing here, so we got the Chinese Lunar New Year going on, and I think that that's one of the reasons why you're seeing some of these depressed volumes. When does that end, actually? Let me look that up.
UNH, Humana, staying strong. I'm looking for those pullbacks on those names. There's the SPY. Looks like it wants to come back down there, team. We'll look to see if it comes. It wants to break.
SNOA.
Success.
Wear socks. Sydney, I'm totally stealing that. That is so cool.
Man. I missed that pullback to VWAP. That's the hard part of looking at so many stocks sometimes, trying to find different plays, team. Stocks has pulled back to the VWAP there at 25.71. VWAP was 25.75. I really like that entry there for Stocks S. That was a nice little push right back to 26. Really nice little move there.
I really like the work that we've been doing on SNOA. This was great. So what the difference here, right? We tried to go through this VWAP. First of all, we used this 196 or 195 as support for the entire day so far. We tried to go above the VWAP the first two times, really couldn't do it. This next one here, when we popped above the VWAP, we actually built above it. Right. When I say built, I'm basically mean we trade above it. Right. The shares are exchanging hands back and forth above the VWAP. And then lo and behold, as soon as we got a little bit more volume in here, it pushed us higher, took us right to this 246. I don't want to hear about how this is a coincidence. It ain't. We actually went 2-3 cents higher, but right to that level. To me, now a push above 246 and again, a build above sends us higher here. Might have a bigger pop here in SNOA. Good stuff here by the entire team on top of this. I wish it was the year of the cat XX. It's the year of the rabbit. I had to break the news to Buddy. He was a tad disappointed. Then he licked himself and took a nap.
Sure, to attack that rabbit. You could.
That's what I mean.
All right, looking for maybe, do I scalp Apple? That's the only one that I could see right now. It'd be kind of scalp action off of the kind of the high right now, 139.91. It's not my type of play. That's the hard one. It's just not my type of play, but I'll show you guys what I mean by that. You see this kind of trend line right here. You can break below that, just hold to this high, which is 89. And you can maybe look to see if you get that low the day break through 139.50. Which is kind of doing it right now, right? And this would have been the scalp right here towards the 39.50s. And so the risk is about 20 cents. You're getting in there, let's say around the 80, then you're getting a nice 30-cent move down. It's still at least more reward than it is risk, but not my style play. A lot of volume coming in there. 2 million, over 2 million shares traded now.
SPY still looks like it wants to test those lows. SOXS certainly looks like it wants higher. What does SQQQ look like?
AT&T ripping, team. Ripping. Verizon having a good day.
So weren't you talking about people looking for value earlier today, Mitch?
Yeah, T-Mobile.
I think that's what you're getting with some of these telecoms like Verizon and AT&T.
Yep.
Apple down, Zunaid wins. Rocket ship, rocket ship, rocket ship.
The question is going to end up. The question is going to end up being, where do I take my gains? Because I'm not gonna lie, I am a bit frustrated. This could be the worst trading day I've had in 2023, which is a young 2023. The question is gonna be where I take my gains in Apple, right? Because I'm short 150, and I keep moving my gains because I wanna try to hit a home run with this. So I'm actually gonna, I don't know, I'm not gonna take my gains here, as Apple is looking to now. All right, Apple low a day.
Yeah, that would have been that scalp right there. I would have probably taken that off the scalp right there at the 139.50s. But that's just because it's mental too, right? So I didn't want to do the scalp, not my style trade for sure. We'll look to see if we get that continuation to the downside. To the short side. First Solar is a nice one that I would like to short. That's definitely one that if it can bounce back here, let's say above VWAP, I like it. MPH getting hit hard today. Q's down. We'll look to see if we break through that 281. NVIDIA, AMD down by the lows. Let's see what else is making moves here today. Netflix right around VWAP. That one looks interesting there. We're going to look to see if Netflix can continue to lift there. I think it pulls back probably closer towards 350s. I don't think it's maybe coming back to 331s, but this doesn't look too bad for a short off of right above. But you need to risk a little bit with Netflix. You need to give it some room. We'll see what happens right now.
SNOA curling back towards that 246 level. It's the year of the cat for the Vietnamese lunar calendar. Didn't know that. No wonder. Thank you for that. I was not aware of that. SNOA, here's your curl back, right? It looks like we're trying to take this out again. I'd really like to match that with a nice volume stick here. See if we end up getting that. Run to the washroom real quick, BRB.
Yeah.
Thinking about an Amazon short here. Want it to come back towards 92.50s, but it's already been there. See if it can get to the VWAP 57. SPY overall. Now you got some wicks there. It's a little bit dangerous. Could have a reversal off of that 39.50 area. What's Microsoft doing? Climbing the wall? Starting to climb the wall, right? That's where I get a little bit dangerous because Microsoft could start bringing things back. Google trying to come back to VWAP. So some people, when they see this style trade too, and I know somebody like, let's say hitthebid.com, a lot of times he does what's called a mean reversion back to the VWAP. So he's trying to like maybe long Google here. I'm not saying this is exact position, but just similar style, right? Maybe risking off of here, the 95.90s, looking for the move back to 96.50s and can have a tight risk, looking for that move back to VWAP, especially when, let's say, like the indexes are coming back to the VWAP. You'd want to see the SPY kind of like making that move towards 39.50s. We'll see what happens here. We actually get some new lows. We actually start cutting. What's going to happen? Apple just hanging out there. Bounce back right towards that resistance on that trend line. Now starting to reject that 139.75. So we'll look to see if that holds. And on the scalp, I think it would have been a nice one if I would have got out there at 139.50s because it did come back on the very next candle back through towards 139.89, right? And so if you were risking off that 90, maybe you did 89, you might have gotten stopped out on that little pushback. So on scalps, I like going one in, one out on scalps at least. All right, what else is being talked about in the chat? What are you guys taking a look at? What's up out there, team?
Yeah, you've got GNS closer to 4. Tesla never
looks like big resistance right above it.
Yeah, that 139.96 is absolutely big resistance with VWAP right there as well for me on the 5-minute.
Yep. SPY, man. I hate how the SPY displays with people sometimes in the afternoon. It's tough. Tough to get through moments like that.
'SNOA.
FL what?
SNOA. Look at it.
Wow.
Look at it. Just
Wow.
this trade has really done what we've planned for. It's taken a couple attempts to do it, but it really has set up nicely. Nice huge pop here. I see Richard took profits on SNOA. Nice trading here, my man. Richard, great morning here for you. Keep that up. I said, oh, you said you took it. Said you took it too early, huh?
Drug manufacturers coming back. I like maybe Bristol Myers if I'm going to play one like on the day trade here.
Eric's asking, anyone know
Ryan,
the ticker
sorry.
for the Open AI Chat GPT company? Didn't
It is
Microsoft
not.
invest billions in this?
They did. Yeah, I don't think chat itself has a ticker, but yes,
Right.
Microsoft did invest billions.
Right. I think what the play, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the play for Chat GPT is Microsoft.
For now, that's all I can think of.
Yeah.
Or you can do like the degenerates. They're playing AI just because the ticker's AI.
Ryan, can you send me that picture you took of the blizzard?
Oh,
Not the
sure.
blizzard, but
Ooh,
yeah,
blizzy.
I've got a buddy of mine that's traveling right now, and he's got a ton of snow in his area.
Where's he at? If you can't.
Chicago.
You can't say. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why. Yeah.
There's a ton of snow here.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's going to get more. There's going to be more.
My boy lives in Byron, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
So he has to
Jim.
like
Jim
drive.
from our happy hour crew. Welcome, Jim. SNOA done and done 2 times. I'm going to Costco to buy eggs. Don't spend all your profits on those eggs, Jim. I like what you did there. Great trading here today. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Good guys getting rewarded.
Long Bristol Myers. Risk off 72.45. We'll look to see if we get right back up there towards 72.75s through the high. Bristol Myers. So I was looking at all the healthcare names, and I could see them pulling back a little bit, like Lilly, GSK, the real one leading it, AZN, right? See them pulling back. I was looking for one that was near the VWAP to see if these can pull back a little bit or just take that kind of push right back towards the highs, and then maybe we see this one kind of push up. Another one that I was thinking was Johnson & Johnson off the low support there. So maybe you're using like pre-market support around 167.50s, looking for it to come back. We'll see what happens there. Will we get healthcare to come back today? They were strong. We'll see if this is able to bounce right back up.
You know, market looks like it's trying to bounce, but each time it pops, it's getting sold. At least it looks like it. Why, Mitch, why is there so much delay when we're switching screens to mine? Is that like something on my end or what's going on?
It could just be StreamYard struggling today. I mean, it might not necessarily be your end. It could just be StreamYard.
Okay. Because I haven't noticed it happening with you and Zunaid, but just making sure. All right. SPY here, right? It looks like we're trying to push, but this is what I mean. Every time we kind of curl and get a little bit of a pop, immediately get met with more selling volume. Ryan was going on with that likes. I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean by that.
I am gonna hope and pray that this Apple trade just continues to dump. I'm also look. It's been an awful day for me, but I did just go short Tesla as well because I hate money. At 139.55s. We'll see if it ends up going or not. Stop loss is going to be about 140.56. Looking to take profits at 138.23s.
All right, went right to my wrist there. Bristol Myers had my finger on the trigger, pulling it off there as the wick comes right back above the 72.50s. We'll see if that 72.45 closes down there. Not, I'll step out of the trade. Look to see if this comes right back up here.
INPX possible move through 180 to the upside if it can get volume. We shall see. Doesn't have it yet.
Let's see if this 5-minute candle can really hold here and then opened up. Then we can get maybe that bullish engulfing move through 72.65. that would be the good look there on Bristol Myers.
Apple low of Mother Day. Good grief, bro.
I'm telling you, I had the nice look. I just couldn't hang through all that stress that you did, my friend.
Jesus Christ, bro.
This is how I
look at this. You see this bald patch? It's because of Apple short. Like
that's just what happens, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Too much stress on that trade. Woosah.
You were short though, right?
Yeah, but like look at the nonsense I have to deal with, right?
Yeah, it's just tough. Bro, it's just tough.
Like just oh my God. I'm taking gains. Fuck this. I'm out. I can't deal with it. I'm out. Anyway. I'm still short Tesla, which of course is coming up. This can't be it. I'm gonna head out of here in 5 minutes before I curse too much.
Okay, muting Zunaid's mic.
Boy, it is stressful out here, chat.
W being called out in the chat. What's up with that one? Wayfair down, rejecting the VWAP. We'll see if that starts coming back or not. GNS called out in the chat. That's trying to make its way back there. My biggest thing with GNS is just keep looking at that daily chart. I see kind of like a little bit of a trend line now forming. We need to get back through kind of, I would say even today's high to continue the daily trend. That's through 473. You could be making your way back towards support around 331s or even 350s. Always keep in mind where your support is on the daily and where you'd let it go if the stock goes.
Tom is asking, Ryan, speaking of eggs, what does the team think of Calm? So I'll phrase this.
Speaking of eggs.
I'll phrase this to the team. Cal-Maine Foods, I think this is the biggest producer of eggs. And correct me if I'm wrong here. Cal-Maine, here. Produces and sells shell eggs. Its main market is the United States. Yeah, I think this is one of the bigger ones here. Regardless, I don't necessarily have an angle on this more than the technical angle. I mean, we do look like we're kind of at support here. But what's going to really drive us higher, right? I mean, it looks like maybe the MACD histogram is going to cross here, or these lines are going to cross. I don't have an angle on this. To me, if I would trade this to the long side, I would trade it against 52 as a stop, right? And I would hope for 56 or maybe even 60 if we can get a rush there. But I don't necessarily feel confident in that. Yeah. It does look like it's really kind of holding this 52 as some pretty strong support.
Right? Here's what I've got. What was it? Calm, right? CLM?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna give this analysis. I'm gonna take a walk, listen to Jan's advice because I'm gonna full port something. On Calm,
Bristol Myers.
You've got resistance at 55.13. This is the daily, by the way. You've got support here, like Ryan kind of pointed out, at 52.79 area. Right. Then after that, it's going to be at 51s. That 51s is quite strong because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, give or take. Around those areas, you've had support. So if you go short here on the break, keep an eye on this one. If this breaks, then you get the 50 and possibly the 48s as well. So that's what I see on the charts. Tesla coming down.
Missed Amazon's VWAP fade there. I talked about if it could come back to 92.50s, it'd look good. VWAP's at 92.57, just rejected there. I'm looking for maybe a potentially taking it down from 92 down towards 91.60s, but would have to risk about 20 cents max here.
Market rolling over here. VIX at highs. Let's see where we are on the SPY in terms of levels.
I was going to ask the chat about something else since you guys helped me with cataracts yesterday. I feel like I had something else today.
Do we not have the best community out here, Zunaid?
Yeah, I literally this morning I was brushing and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to ask our community about that. But then now I can't remember.
So on SPY here, just kind of going back to the daily chart, which I'm using as kind of like a baseline, just trying to stick to the same charting that I've been doing and the same levels that I've been looking at here. Looking at this chart here, we did break down through
Short
that.
Some Amazon.
What's that?
Short some Amazon.
Okay. We did break down through the 200 day here. Looks like we're going to try to find support at the 50 day. That number here is 392.83. So still have some ways down here. 392.83, about $1 under where we're at right now on the SPY. All right, Mitch, walk us through that trade. I'm sorry, my man.
No, you're good, my friend. There's nothing wrong with that. Just gonna put up some charts that we kind of gonna keep an eye on. Microsoft, of course, bounce right there. SPY making new lows. I'm gonna see this continue down. I want to see Amazon reject this little trend line. You see how there's a little trend line up back. I'll show you on the one. It looks a little cleaner there. You can see how we're coming back here. Really need to use VWAP right now as the risk here. Don't want to see it really kind of wick even close up towards 92.40s. Of course, the wick gets instantly there towards 92.50s. We'll see where it happens right now. If we come right back down, that's what we want to do. At least I got in this on the bounce, so I gave myself some risk and return. SPY continuing down, that's a good move. Don't want to see this turn into like a little wick and then a big move back up. We'll look to see if we get that continued move down. Then we'll look for the rejection. Got to get hand on the trigger just in case I need to get out. It's about break even before this trade. So this would be probably the trade that would get me into the red. We'll see what happens if I do stop out. Hands, all right, on the trigger now that we're getting back through 92.50s. There's a little bit of a squeeze up. Not going to hold through 92.60s. It's going to wick probably there and come back towards 92.50. But it gets to a point where the risk is through the 64s. And then if the 64s get through there, you're instantly right back towards 92.75. I'm going to take my out there, take my loss on the day. And it's going to be a red day for me. I battled. I was like break even. Apple really looked good for me today. It just stopped me out when it came back. That was really the better trade. But that's just how it is sometimes, right? On this move here, I got stopped out on VWAP. If I would have held towards 39, of course, I would have killed it on the day. But hey, to each his own, right? That's all you can do is try to execute. I thought I did pretty good on that Apple entry. Just never got back into the name, and that probably would have been the way to trade it. Not a bad day today. Red day, and moving forward. That's all you can do.
Raj, my ES Jan 25 39.95 put is at 32 from 12 pre-market. That is almost a triple. Props to you. You have been all over this from the beginning. You have been talking about market trading down here from the beginning of the day here. So great to see your plan materialize. You also go on to say that the next level on the ES here is 39.30. So awesome stuff. Really appreciate the futures insight here from the community. Another Booglog. Well, good to see you again here. Saying thoughts on MGold. This is the Leo Messi marketing team, right? I'm pretty sure that's what this one is. This is a nice little volume flow here. Wasn't on my radar though. Looking at the daily chart, yikes, right? Not a great daily chart here at all. The one thing that we would like to see here, maybe a trade back towards this 330 area, currently from 307. Maybe we'll end up getting that. Volume today is encouraging, but really no angle here. Wouldn't buy and hold this overnight.
Yeah, sometimes it's going to be base hit some days, and sometimes you got to be okay with just taking a little hit, right? It's not a big red day for me, but it's a red day, and I'm okay with that. I just knock it off, move on until tomorrow, right? One thing that's important, I was battling. I gave myself the shot. That's sometimes what you want to be doing, and it's going to go in your favor. Sometimes it's not. We can't get too stuck on that. The only thing we can do is move towards the next day, right? We'll see what happens now. The SPY bouncing a little bit back towards 394. But for those people that were looking for the 410, the 420 breakout, not looking as good as it was, right, a day or two ago, right? And now you're right back into the channel. And I think you got some bulls stuck. I think there's some bulls that were really feeling like we were going back towards the bull market. So just to be careful out there, team, we'll see what happens. When do we really get to the point where we get bearish? I would say through 387. If that happens, yeah, it's looking really bad that we're coming right back down. Bulls can still battle here and hold. We'll see what happens. It's been a red day. We'll see if this continues. And definitely what can do it today is Tesla, right? Will Tesla get a really nice earnings, or will they take the hit on their earnings? Something to keep in mind, right?
Valiant Goat, some high-level trolling of the bots that seem to come into our chat. I really appreciate this, man. Shout out to you. You're the real
It
hero.
happens, man. I mean, I can't blame it though, because that's how the media was, right?
Yeah.
If you saw the media the last day or two, they were super bullish, super bullish. Some people were saying the lows are in, the lows are in. We're going back towards the highs. I mean, I think that's a little bit overreactive. We want to be underreactive, I think, in a bear market, not overreactive to news. That's where I think that a lot of people were kind of just jumping on this January effect. And I understand there's nothing wrong with jumping on that January effect. Stocks made big moves. Wayfair made a 50% move, more than that, 86% move, 88% move. Sometimes you got to take profits and run, right? That's why I was looking at this for it to close this gap. It looks primed to close that gap right back down. We'll look to see if it closes that.
Yeah, that's actually a really nice gap trade there. I'd play that. Wayfair. Take a look at that. Valiant Goat, the bear market is over every other day. LOL. Jay Rice, all jokes aside, the time to get bearish was yesterday. Yes, definitely. Definitely. And as far as
I don't think that's right either, though, because you didn't know Microsoft's earnings until this morning or after hours.
Yeah,
what if
but
Microsoft would have killed it?
I don't know. I don't think that the entire market was going to hinge on Microsoft's.
I do think the whole market moved with Microsoft. At least I would say.
I don't know.
Hey,
all right.
That's why it's a market, right, team?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right, Mitch. You're right.
I'll see you guys later. It's been an awful trading day for me. Just to be transparent, I don't mind showing my P&L here. Let me.
It's all good, my friend.
Right there, I'm
it's
down
a red
about,
day.
Yeah, I'm down about $400. I do have a SPY short, and the reason I took that short, I want to talk about that before I go, is simply because you see how this was support at 394.26. We went ahead and I got in on the retest. Unfortunately, again, got stopped out. So red day for me. I'm going to take a walk and then come back to do my other Benzinga stuff. I'll catch you guys. I won't be here the next 2 days, but I'll see you guys next week.
We love you all the same, Zunaid. Don't worry.
Appreciate you. See you guys. Bye.
And the reason I talk about that, Ryan, is because yesterday at the close, I was talking about it. Like, a part of me wanted to go short some names before the close yesterday. But then I also kept in mind, well, you got Microsoft's earnings, right? You don't know which way it's going to go. And that's where I always try to take a step back on earnings days, but it's very difficult. Things can change in an instant. That's where it gets really hard. And if Microsoft would have came in with a killer report, killer guidance, yeah, this could have easily been back, let's say 260s. And we're talking about a very different SPY today. The pops will fool you. Yeah.
And so that's kind of, so there's a lot of truth to that, though, because take a look at this chart. Remember, this is the SPY chart that we go over every day. The pops do fool you. The pop right here back in December 13th, this broke us out of the channel, and we just did nothing but sell off for the next 4 days, and then consolidate around that 384. Now, this one was a little bit different, right? Because we actually had a pop and multiple closes above the trend line. But I mean, first of all, looking at this chart, I expected if we were going to continue to trade up here, the range or the resistance that we're going to run into is likely this 403 to 408. We were almost there yesterday. So a regression back to the mean, I guess it depends what my bias is definitely to the downside here. I don't believe the bots. I don't think the bear market is over. I still think we probably test some of these lows at some point. Maybe that gets dragged out. I don't know. And full disclosure, Mitch, I didn't have a play on Microsoft. Right. So I didn't have a feeling on Microsoft either way, or I certainly didn't put my money behind it. But I definitely think that the overall market was in for some more trouble here, and we got that here again today.
Yeah, that's why part of when let's say Microsoft's first reaction happened, what were my eyes doing? My eyes opened big, right? I was like, whoa, Microsoft up. That's when I was like in my shoes, like, man, I'm glad I didn't go short some of the names, right? That's what I was thinking. But then I come in this morning, and what's my thoughts? Completely different, right? On the guidance, on the earnings call, they gave guidance that knocked it right back down. Then they had some issues this morning that kept it knocking down. And it would have been a completely different story if you just saw, let's say, the first 20 minutes after hours yesterday compared to when you come in this morning. And that's where I say that, yeah, getting short yesterday sounds really good, but it sounds really like would have, could have, should have to me, right? Because it's very difficult to say that Microsoft had to go down. And I don't think anybody would have said that it had to go down.
No, I didn't have a feeling either way of what direction it had to go. That's no, you're right about that. You're right about that.
And then it's such a big report. I really try my best, like let's say like not going swing trading into a report that can change the whole market outlook. And I think this changed the whole market outlook.
So let's fast forward then to tonight. We got Tesla and IBM tonight. Are those big earnings reports? Might those turn this around?
Tesla is, because Tesla has a tendency of being for those growth traders, right? Like a savior, right? A lot of the growth traders like to look at Tesla. And why? Well, because it's an ARKK too, right? It's the major holding, right? And so that's going to determine a lot of how the growth stocks will trade, tomorrow. If for any reason Tesla comes in with a really bad report, even though the expected move is only 7 points, maybe you see Tesla down there towards, let's say, 123s. That Tesla doesn't look that bearish, but I'll tell you right now, those other growth names, I would expect to take a big beating. And so we just got to be careful. We'll see what happens. Microsoft is trying to make a little bit of a comeback, right? We'll see what happens at the end of the day. But one of the biggest things that I think Microsoft told us in the report is what I've been trying to call out, is that slowing down tech is what's coming. And I think that this is not good for the markets. They're starting to really fire or lay off workers is not a good thing. This is where I think everyone's just focusing their lens in the short term, but not looking what's going to come 2 quarters down the line or a quarter down the line with those layoffs. What's going to come probably is not lower costs, lower revenue. Everyone's focusing, I think, on the wrong line. They're focusing on the cost when you should be focusing on revenue right now. Just my focus.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think if you're expecting lower revenue, you'd want to lower your costs at the same time.
On some points, right? Because the problem there is that if you like down your business enough, Ryan, it's very hard to ramp your business back up.
No, that's true. That's true.
You know, you got to somehow play survival, and that's okay. Playing survival is okay.
You're trying to be agile, and and that's effectively, you're trying to make the right decisions in real time. Easier said than done.
Easier said than done. 100%, Ryan. I agree with that. And I think that one of the outlooks there, though, is when you lose those types of talent right now, will that talent be available to you when you need to grow? No, these companies, there's a lot of other companies looking for talent right now.
Yeah, I think some of the stronger companies that are playing a longer game are going to scoop up some of that talent leaving, with the longer term approach that when things turn around, they're going to be ready to go, right? They're going to be able to spin up operations or do what they need to do better than some of their competitors. Real quick, tale of two different. So I'm going to get out of here, Mitch. But
I'm wrapping up too. No worries. You can do final comments here, Ryan.
Well, yeah, I just want to do just a couple of things here. So really, we're starting to. Oops. That's what I mean about the lag.
Yeah, I see it a little bit.
Yeah, and like our videos even lag on that too. Okay, anyway, what's going on? Why I don't see my screen?
I see it. All right.
Okay, there we go. Now, right at the end there. Okay.
All right, no worries. I don't know what's going on there. No worries. It could just be StreamYard issues.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, hopefully you all can see my screen. Let me know if you can. We got a tale of two stocks here, right? We've got Tesla. Really kind of moving up off of the lows here. And then as Etienne was saying earlier, he's been watching Boeing all day. I've been watching Boeing all day here. Boeing drifted lower after earnings, popped at the open, bled all of those gains back, actually looking to take these lows here on Boeing. This is going to affect the broader market too, right? This is also part of the Dow. So, all right. As far as stocks to watch for this afternoon, I think really the only ones that might be in play here from the list that we talked about are going to be FWBI, if it can get going again. I know someone, it might have been Crow, said that this feels like BXRX from yesterday, where it basically just bled all day. I to a certain extent, I would agree with that. I would say that the one thing here on FWBI. Let me make this chart a little bit easier to see. Wait for this to actually confirm, right? Like if this volume stays like this, it doesn't almost matter if we get pops. We don't really need that. We need the move back up to coordinate with a large volume move. So that's really what we want to be looking for here. The other one that might potentially run here this afternoon, if we get kind of a repeat, is SNOA. And I think one of the things I like here is, again, still we're holding this 2 level. So even on this push where we were kind of trying to get through 246, we finally did. We've come back here and we haven't given up this level. So volume still elevated. We get a nice little volume expansion here on SNOA. This might be one of your afternoon movers too. Big earnings tonight, Tesla and IBM. I'm sure we're going to be talking about that again tomorrow here, Mitch. But in the meantime, have a great rest of your day, and we will see you tomorrow.
Definitely. We'll see you tomorrow, Ryan. You have a good one. And Jan, we'll check in on Zunaid. No worries. We always check in on our friend. Well, he'll be doing fine. And just like I talked about my day, right? Some days we are going to have red days. It's okay, team. We can't always look at when we lose on a trade as we were wrong. This is what I try to talk about often. This is the book that taught me that the most. Can't say it enough. Trading in the zone. If you need to kind of get towards that psychological barriers of trading, I say you definitely check out this book. Don't even need to be in my book club. Just read it yourself. And I'll tell you right now, a lot of strength in that book in getting over the psychological hurdles and understanding that a lot of times we need to be giving ourselves pats on the back for execution, even on losses. What does that mean? Well, that I'm following my risk and reward plan, right? Because really, if I can't do that, then I don't have a system at all. This is where we can really kind of benefit here and why I do this stream, right? Traders, it's not necessarily for you guys to think that I'm the best trader, to think that Zunaid's the best trader or Ryan, or think that we're the worst. That's not what it's about. It's about learning from our strengths, our weaknesses, the knowledge that we talk about. And like always, turning that knowledge into skill. That's where the knowledge really gets to, right? Because if you turn it to execution, that's when you're going to get that nice uplift. We'll see what happens today. Stock's having a good move right now. Shop, Capital One mentioned in the chat. Like always, you guys are on top of a lot of things. Jay, staying on top of that COF. We'll be here with you guys to keep going. Benzinga Live will be out, so there's going to be no show. A little bit of a break here towards 1 p.m. I'll tell you guys to focus. Focus on your trading, right? Look at your data. A lot of traders can do the hard work of trading, executing, but then they can't do the harder work, which is actually looking back and analyzing their data to find their strengths and their weakness. Do you know your strength and weakness? Ask yourself that question. If you don't have an answer, start finding out. All right, team. We'll see you guys next time. See you at 1 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it, team. I'll be back with Stock Market Movers. We'll get into some great conversation. I always have a good guest. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about toy stocks. Find out on Stock Market Movers coming up at 1 p.m. See you in a little bit.